Hello, everybody. I want to share with you today a tool that I use all the time that helps me to show up in my life as who I really want to be, as opposed to my sort of sleepwalking, automatic, reactive self that I'm kind of just used to being or I'm in the habit of being. Okay, so this is a tool that helps us to get in touch with who we really are, our highest, more authentic self, as opposed to, and essentially clear out all of the crap in our heads that we're making up about life and that we're then just reacting to. Okay, so really what you do is, and what I do each and every day, and sometimes a few times a day, is I take a few moments to just really get in tune with what's going on for me. And sometimes it's really obvious that things are bothering me or like going on in the background. And other days it's not really obvious. And so it's really helpful to be in the habit of actually doing this and tuning in, especially on the days when it's not really obvious. But what I do is I take a few moments to really tune in to what is going on for me. What are my fears? What are my concerns? What are my complaints about life? And actually shine a light on them, acknowledge them, accept that they're there. For example, this morning I was feeling frustrated with myself because my office is kind of a mess, and I just keep piling stuff up and ignoring it. So I take the time to write that down. My office is a flippin' mess. And what else? I had a new meeting with a client that I was actually kind of nervous about, to be honest. I'm really excited to work with this particular person and a little bit intimidated, like I have to show up as my badass coach self. And sometimes that's kind of scary. So I wrote that down, nervous about my upcoming meeting with my new client. And then I'm just going to use those couple for this example right now, but really you want to just get out on paper anything that's bothering you, that you're concerned about, that you're complaining about in your life, and list them out. So one, my office, and two, my nerves about this upcoming meeting. And then the second step is really to take a look at that and go, okay, what am I making that mean about myself? Because the bottom line is, as human beings, we are making up stories about everything that's going on. We're making up stories about other people and what that look on their face must mean about me or about them. I make up stories about myself according to, what's happening in my own life and what I just said and what I just did. So this is the place to really notice, like, what these feelings or what these situations that are bothering us or affecting us, what we're making them mean about ourselves. So my office is a mess. Well, I make that mean that I'm a total slob, that I'm a procrastinator, and ultimately kind of a loser because I don't have my office perfectly organized all the time. Okay, so I jot that down. Slob, loser. And this is really the place that you get to be devolved, okay? Not evolved. This is the place where you get to be the bully on the playground that just is calling you names, calling you out. Because that's basically what our minds are to us sometimes, right? We're bullying ourselves. We're making up these terrible stories about ourselves. And then we're carrying around that energy. So for me, my office being a mess, I'm making it mean that I'm a slob loser. Whew. Is that really how I want to be thinking about myself? no. So that's why I'm doing this exercise. Okay, the other thing was just like my nerves, as having to show up with this new client that I think is really amazing, and I'm kind of intimidated. And who am I to show up as a coach to this amazing person? And so I think about that, and I go, what am I making up about myself from this nervous feeling? And it's really, I'm making up that I'm a wannabe. Like, who am I? Yeah. So I think the bully on the playground is saying, you're just a wannabe. Who are you to be showing up as coach for this person? So I write that down, wannabe. Okay, so now I have these stories of what I'm making these things mean in my life. One is slob loser, the other one is wannabe. Well, that is definitely no place to be showing up to my life from, right? And so this is my opportunity to clear that out. And the next step is really to look at that and ask myself honestly, slob loser, is that a fact? Or is it just an interpretation? Is it just a story that I'm making up about myself? Sometimes it's actually hard to say that it's not a fact. Our brains will find evidence for this stuff everywhere, okay? But the way that we can test it is that we can go, if we're not willing to actually let it go and go, you know what, that's really just an interpretation. It is not a fact. If we're really stuck, like, well, the evidence is everywhere. My office is a mess, so there's the evidence. It must be a fact that I'm a slob loser. It's still not. So the way we can test that is by going, can I actually get a bowl of it? Is it a real thing? Can I get a bowl of slob loser like I can get a bowl of peanuts? No, I can't. Slob loser doesn't exist. It's just a story. It's just a perspective. It's just a made up thing. So that's how I can test it if I'm really attached to believing that there's evidence for it. Okay, so slob loser, not a fact, just an interpretation. Wannabe, no, not a fact. Just an interpretation that I was making about myself because I was nervous. Really, being nervous is part of being human, right? And I show up for my clients and I coach them every day. So wannabe is just an interpretation. It's not a fact. So now that I have confirmed that with myself, I want to create a new story, a new energy to show up to my life with. And so in this step, we kind of think of life is a party that we're going to each and every day. We just got invited to this party called life. And being the amazing guests that we are, we want to bring a gift to the party, something to share with everybody. I love bringing gifts to parties, right? Don't you? So this is our opportunity to decide what gift we want to bring to the party called life. And you just think of a quality, think of some way you want to show up to the party called life that is not a fix to this other stuff, right? It's just a gift that you want to bring to your day. So for me, today it's going to be curiosity. I'm going to show up with curiosity. So I write that down on a little Post-it, and I stick it somewhere that I can see it as I'm going throughout my day. Maybe I put it on several Post-its, and I'm posting them around where I can see them, and that becomes my stand for today. So I'm going to show up in just curiosity instead of slob loser and wannabe. Okay? So anyways, I hope this is a helpful exercise for all of you, just to clear out all of the crap that you're making up about yourself and get you back to being who you choose to be from your highest, most authentic place. Enjoy.